Hey guys, Brian Savage here with you, and want to do a video. I did a little mod on my pickup set for my Strat. This is a set of Fender custom shops. I've had these pickups a while, absolutely love them. And what I did was I did some changing. Basically what I did, let me turn it over so it makes more sense maybe, is that it was a volume, tone, and tone. And this tone knob worked this pickup, this tone knob worked this, and this pickup. And the overall volume knob. Now, as I may have stated in various videos, I'm mainly a Les Paul player, but I love me some Strat and some Telly and some stuff like that too. So what I did is I reconfigured the wiring so that this is the volume for this pickup and this pickup. This is the volume for this pickup, and this is an overall tone knob. And the reason I did it that way is because I wanted this volume to where I could always have it. I usually always have it reduced a little bit, actually probably halfway or better, so that when I'm flipped up on the bridge position, I can have my amp set on a medium gain, and this will come out clean. Now, I got a little glare there. Now, this coming out clean with a little bit of volume. Then, like with a Les Paul, I can just flip the switch, bring in this one, and I want to play with the gain, or volume, let's say, not gain. Play with this volume to add in a little bit with this pickup, so I'm here and here. Then at a full, in this position, this volume now is obsolete because it only works this pickup. But this volume is now obsolete because it only works this pickup. This volume working both of these pickups, and then I can play with that to bring in and out the amount of gain I want in my signal by simply playing with the volume knob. And this one's the front knob, and I wanted it to be the front one, the first one my hand hits, to be the volume knob that works these two pickups, because I'm going to use it the most. I'm going to fiddle with it the most because I'm usually in a position where I'm on either this by itself or this and this. And when I'm on this position, I'm always going to be in a certain type of tone just because that's what I look for. It's just how I play. So that's how we got this thing loaded up. Again, volume for this, volume for this, overall tone. To wire that up, if you're curious how you do it, you take all the black wires, and I say black, I shouldn't say black, because it depends on the manufacturer pickup. But I take all, let's just call them negative leads. We'll call all this side the negative side and all this side the positive side, instead of start, stop, in, out, whatever you want to say. But the negative side, they all come together to the first volume. Now again, this volume is going to work these two pickups. Off of this, we have our output to ground, and we have our ground. This will end up grounded on the forks for the springs, clawfoot, whatever you want to call it, for the springs to ground the bridge. Now, on the first volume pot, let me take I have a wire tie in here keeping it all nice and tidy. We'll just unpeel it real quick and I'll put it back on. So, stay with the negative side. Off the top of the cap, goes onto the outside lug, comes around, goes to the top of the second volume pot that just works this pickup. Off of this, we're going to come into that lug of this volume pot of the 3 lugs. And then we're going to come off of this and ground to the body only of the tone pot. Let me turn that a little bit, maybe it won't glare so bad. Okay. Now, let's follow the other side. We'll do from the, again, this is on this volume pot, so if you go down here and you follow the positive run ends up, bam, right here on this volume knob. Okay. Now, also, since we'll just finish out the circuit on this volume knob, from the center lug of this volume knob, I'm going to come up here and we're going to call these, starting from the bridge side, on the spring side, lug 1, 2, 3, and 4, and on the non-spring side, lug 1, 2, 3, and 4. So from the center lug of the second potentiometer, which controls, I wanted to control just neck pickup volume, goes to lug number 4, or the last one, the one closest to the tone knob. Come down here to the middle pickup. The middle pickup's positive wire, we'll say, goes to spring side. This, when I say spring side, if you can see here the spring, goes to lug number 2. Positive side of the bridge pickup comes up and goes to lug number 1. Again, I'm going to count 1 through 4, spring side, lugs 1 through 4 on the potentiometer side of the switch. Okay, so that gets all 6 wires, 2 from each pickup, that gets them all soldered into place. We also have our output wire on our negative side taken care of, coming off the first volume pot. Now, let's go to this first volume pot, and we're going to go from the lug closest to the switch. We're going to follow this wire up, and this wire is soldered onto pin number 4 of the spring side. The center lug of volume pot number 1 is going to come up, and it solders to the potentiometer side of the switch on lug number 3. Then there is a jumper from lug number 3 to lug number 2 on the potentiometer side of the switch. Now, also on the potentiometer side of the switch, lug number 1, we have a wire that comes down, goes into our tone pot. Now our tone pot's a little different because the lugs now are facing us versus facing away with the other 2. But it's going to go into that side of the lug. Also with that wire is going to be our output wire, which I've made white in this case. This is our output wire to the tip of the input or output jack, what the tip of the cord would touch. Now to finish out, we have one more component. From the center lug of the tone potentiometer, I have a cap. I just broke my solder loose, and that's okay because I need to redo that one anyway. That leg's way too long in there. I put a cap. Now, I put a 47 microfarad cap. The reason I go with a 47 versus a 22 or a 01 in this configuration is because I right now I have a, on this right here, this is a 500K and a 250K, and this 500K is going to let more treble through on these two pickups. So I put a higher value capacitor than the 22 that's usually in this configuration. This is a 250K pot, 250, 500. The reason is by when I engaged any portion of this tone knob, when it's off, the wiper's cut, and there's nothing soldered onto this lug. So when it's off completely. It's true bypass. I went in there and scratched out that little piece of track, and you can see videos on how to do that. So it's completely off when it's off, but when I turn it on, I get a higher value cap and break out and take off more of that treble. It really makes this 250K with this 500 with this sweep. I really like what it does to the tone. Makes this tone knob much more versatile, and I like using my tone knob. Honestly, the knob that won't get much use is this volume knob that isolates just the neck pickup. It'll probably be set it about halfway and forget about it. It's just like it's a go-to rhythm tone for me, and then I will use the tone knob to brighten it up or take some out of it depending on the tone I'm looking for, and then use these two in conjunction as to really making most of my tone. And this is where I do most of my work, is in the configuration of this by itself or these two together. So anyway, guys, I hope that helped y'all. If you have any questions on this, let me know. And if you think I'm totally crazy for doing something like this, let me know. You know, this is I just want to show you guys that, you know, this isn't tough to do, and it's all a matter of preference. And I'm used to having independent volume controls between neck and bridge, and that's kind of like how my playing style makes me want to play. So with the Strat, I love these pickups, but I've had this for years and years and years, seems like, and I've always wanted to do this. I've always wished that this had that option. And again, making this the first volume, the first knob I touch, work these, is because I use these the most and I want to be able to move it the most. And this one you'll move little, and then this one I'll move quite a bit. But these are two are on the extremities, so they're easiest for my pinky just to find as I fall down with my hand. So anyway, guys, I think that's it for me for today. I've done quite a bit today. I'm posting all these today. I've done the bad dog wah, changed it to a bass wah. I totally went through from end to end and redid, restrung, set up, and cleaned up, and put in new saddles and all kinds of crazy stuff on a left-handed jazz bass today. And this was just pickups in the pickup cover when I started. So I've wired and soldered every bit of this up and did all this today as well. So that's it for me. I think I'm done for the day. Share the music, share the love. Peace out.